Welcome back to part two of the workshop. Coming up next, we have Huawei to share with us about their cloud platform. For Huawei cloud users, please make sure you provide us with your registered email address by replying to the email we sent you in order to receive the free credit. Thank you. The recording of today's workshop will be available on STP platform around mid-December. We will notify you by email when it's available, so stay tuned.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Owen Chan. It's my pleasure to meet you via the cloud, and we are going to discuss Huawei Cloud's Everything as a Service today. We'll have two parts. The first part is me introducing Huawei Cloud, and the second part will be my colleague Mandy giving a demo on Huawei Cloud services and how to use our AI training platform. "2021 is a year with tremendous changes. It changes our understanding on communication, on workflows, on even business scenarios. So this year, we're talking about how to use less physical touch, but higher efficiency. So in this case, more and more enterprises are embracing digital transformation, and it happens this year. And we're going to have that speed even growing even faster onwards. So here's the report from McKinsey and Accenture. You'll see there are distributions on which sector are embracing the digital transformation, taking a lead and taking a leap. So what's the implication? According to the report by Accenture, the top 10% enterprises that do digital transformation has a higher revenue growth than the enterprise that still keep on traditional approaches. So that's a big difference to make on digital transformation. And that's also why we're using AI, we're using big data, we're using cloud to help enterprises to make less physical touch, but higher efficiency. So here are some cases of how enterprise embrace digital transformation. From traditional industries like the alcohol making industry, Wuliangye, they have used technology to streamline their operation, to enhance their efficiency, and to more accurately target their customers. And to factories and green industries, they use technology to boost their production efficiency and to meet carbon neutrality goals. And for logistic companies, they use technology to reduce docking time, increase equipment utilization rate, and to decrease yield over time. So cloud native and digital transformation will be the future trend on how enterprise win the competition in their industry and across the market. So what can Huawei Cloud provide? We provide full stack of ability, from IoT to AI to big data and application. So we're a end-to-end services, that is everything as a service. Huawei Cloud is the fastest growing cloud. By the second quarter of 2020, Huawei Cloud had launched over 210 cloud services as well as solutions. So according to the China Cloud Service Market Report released by Canalys in September, Huawei Cloud ranked number 2 with a market share of 15.5 and a YOY growth rate up to 259.6%. So by 2021, over 4,000 of applications had been launched in Huawei Cloud Marketplace with over 20,000 partners, more than 3 million companies and developers put their applications on Huawei Cloud. So we continue to make breakthroughs in technologies and improve our competitive edges. As our infrastructure scale and number of paid users continue to grow rapidly, we have attained multiple first place in different products in areas such as big data, e-government cloud, development platforms, containers, DevOps, IoT, and database. So we operate in 27 regions, 61 availability zones in more than 170 countries, and we have more than 2,500 CDN nodes. So we have more than 600 e-government clouds. We have technology as a service. We provide platforms, cloud-native tools. We provide our AI pre-trained models to different users, such as enterprise, such as developers, so they can build on our technology, drastically reduce the cost and the time to develop a new application for different business scenarios. So expertise as a service is our experience in different business scenarios, and we conclude that in our as a solution and provide applications with partners to fit different business needs. In 2021, Huawei Cloud launched the UBS service, that is ubiquitous cloud native service. That means no more constraints on cross-cloud, geographical, and traffic. We propose the distributed cloud infrastructure. We extend the cloud to different business scenarios. From the central region, business can use public cloud or their IDCs. And this is connected to different regions, that's from hotspot to local data centers and even to their business service sites. These are interconnected and help companies to manage their service from end to end. And with our Huawei Cloud Stack, we provide public cloud capabilities on one cloud to different scenarios and to the user perspective. We provide multi-level cloud management, we provide cloud-to-edge collaborations, and we provide the securities that makes the trustworthiness from clients to cloud services and to technologies. So what is next for AI? AI is reshaping every industry from agriculture, mining, construction, healthcare, to automotive, retail, banking, media, communications, and OTT. So in every industry, they have different business scenarios, and we provide a full stack ability platform for developers and enterprise to fit in different business cases. So this is the way of AI implementation in different industries. First, you have to find the business values for different industries. Let's say in this case, there's E&M. You have to understand what are the problems in this industry. What are the problems for building management? And then you have to go to grasp the data, and you have to gather the industry know-how. And that's how you make a usable AI and put it into applications for users to do real-time computations and do business adjustments and business scenarios applications. So Huawei Cloud provides full stack all scenario AI portfolio from infrastructure, there's Ascend and CAN that provides the AI chips, the Mindspore, the AI framework, and the model arts, that is our AI training platform. And last but not least, the AI applications that are co-developed with our partners and our development teams. So here's more information about Model Arts. Model Arts is a professional AI training platform. It provides a full stack of AI enablement kits. So we have a database of knowledges that is that fits in different industry, And we have the different kits that are suitable for different scenarios, such as the computer vision, OCR, knowledge graph, Highlands, and NLP. So what's the process for model arts? We have an efficient knowledge accumulation that is concluded from our project experiences. We have accurate models, that is a AI gallery that have pre-trained models available. We have fast compute, we have a rapid data processing that helps developers to develop their AI models and launch to a workable applications for business use case. These are development stages for developers on using model arts. First will be you getting the data and then plug into model arts. Then we start with data processing, algorithm development, model training, model management, and model deployment. So it's a full stack AI development platform for developers. So with that, we have launched more than 600 Huawei projects, increasing 30% of AI adoption, raising more than 18% of profitability. As mentioned, we have our pre-trained models to help developers to scale quickly. So that will be Pangu models. We enable AI development at industrial scale. So developers, let's say you're an individual or a small group of developers. You do not want to develop an AI model from scratch and from 0 to 1. There will be too much effort, too much time, and too much testing and error finding. So with our Pangu models in 4 major aspects, that is NLP, CV, ASR, and scientific computing, you can greatly reduce the time for a quickly deployment of AI model, and you just have to train the last mile to fit different business scenarios. So here are two major models. The NLP, we've trained our NLP model and provide more than 200 billion parameters for developers. So you can choose and set with according to your business scenarios. And as a CV model, we have more than 3 billion parameters and 1 billion of image database. So that will save you a lot of time and cost and the time for finding error. We have also developed the drug molecular model, and that is for a faster drug research and deployment. So in previous years, it takes years or even ages to launch and to find a new antimicrobial drug. But with our Pangu drug molecular model, we can shorten the time to even 1 month. And here's some more about how you correlate the data and how you correlate the relationship with AI. Last but not least, Huawei Cloud supports developer, startups, and research programs with our Spark accelerator. So Huawei Spark is a hybrid accelerator program launched in 2020 for tech startups and focus on business in Asia Pacific. So it is founded by Huawei Cloud and underpinned by Huawei technological and innovation leadership. Our purpose is to incubate and accelerate startups for a fully connected, intelligent world. And we hope they can scale up quickly and help the world with digital transformation. So here's our portfolio in different industries. So Thank you for joining the webinar, and I will pass the time to my colleague Mandy to share more on Huawei Cloud services, and she will give a demo on how to use Model Us. That is our AI training platform.
So, okay, I'm Mandy from Huawei Cloud. So I'm here to share with you all about how to use our Huawei Cloud and AI platform to create your training model for this AI competition. And before I start to talk about the training procedure, I would like to share about some of our cloud product in Huawei. And since we are one of the cloud service provider and we have offered different kinds of cloud service as shown in this slide, which includes the Elastic Cloud Service and which provide a compute engine, and also there is a storage service called OBS, and there is also a AI platform called Model X. So in this competition, you will make use of the OBS and also the Model X to build your own training model. It is the login page of our cloud console. And if you have chosen our cloud service later, you will receive our email containing the information about your account number and password. And so you can just type in as the email that's sent to you. And once you have logged into the cloud console, firstly, you have to choose your location first. In our cases this time, and you can either choose Beijing 4 or Hong Kong as the location. But there will be a slightly difference on the resources provided. And I will explain it later. And now I'm going to talk about the detail about the training procedure. Here's is the overview of the training flow, and you may need to go through a few steps to complete your training model. And you can see from the slide there are many 4 procedures. And for the detail, I will explain it later. And I will just briefly go through this now. It's quite simple, basically. First, you have to upload your source code to OBS, and then based on your source code uploaded, you can create your algorithm on our model apps. And after that, using your algorithm created, you can create your training job of that. And after that, you can start to train your model. Now I'm going to talk about the detail of how the steps are operate. And first, as I said before, you have to upload your source code to OBS first. And let me just briefly introduce what is OBS. And OBS is a cloud storage service that enable you to store your code, dataset, and some training output on it. And in this competition, you can use it to upload your training code as well as to store your training output on this OBS. And so I will now talk about how to create the bucket and to upload your source code file on the OBS. When you go into our OBS console, you can select the object storage, and there will be a button for you to create a bucket. And After you have clicked into this, and you will see these pages for you to set up your configurations. And firstly, you have to choose your region. As I said before, you can choose either Beijing for or Hong Kong is fine. And for the bucket name, you should ensure the name must be a globally unique name. Otherwise, it doesn't work for the creation. And for the data redundancy policy, you can just choose the multi-AC storage. And for the storage class, you can just choose standard is enough for this creation. And for the bucket policy, remember to choose private instead of public. This ensures that only the owner, you can only, this ensure only the owner can read and access to the file you have uploaded on OBS to make sure it is secure. And for the direct reading, you can just choose disable this time since we have choose standard as our storage class. So after you have created a bucket, you can start to upload your source code on this OBS bucket. And there will be an upload button, and you can just drag in your Python file on it and just click upload, and your file will be ready in the buckets. You can also manage your folder or file structure in this OBS. And this is some file structure that we recommend you to do so. And since model as algorithm need to know your source code position, so you need to be careful that if you have more than one algorithm, you have to use different main folder to separate them. And also there should be one entry point to handle the parameter. Next, having uploaded your source code to OBS, then you can create your algorithm based on your source code uploaded on Model Arts. Model Arts is our development platform for AI developer, and it contains a Mosin deep learning frameworks and also an optimized GPU and Ascent AI chips to achieve more efficient interface inference. And in this competition, you will use Model Arts to create your own algorithm and your training job. And I will show you how to do it later. And once you have go into the Model Arts console, and you will see, you can see the information that you need to configuration that you need to input. And first, you can just input your basic information, including the name, and the creating way is the AI engine you would like to use. And here, as an example, and we have, I have chosen Ascent Power Engine from Huawei as the as the AI engine, and also use the Huawei MindSpot framework to as the framework of this engine. So for the code directory, you can input your, you can just choose your folder that you have just created on OBS that contains your Python file. And for the boot file, you only need to choose the specific Python file that you that is the as the main function of your source code. Here just show you how to upload the how to select the code directory and the boot file, and this I will show you in the demonstration later. After that, you have to specify your output URL in this algorithm, and since here is the example that I put it here, and I named it as the output URL, and you can input this name to the output path mapping configuration here, and so that this parameter will be further used to point to an OBS location later when you need to create training jobs, and all the everything that created from in this output URL will be uploaded to the designated OBS after all the training jobs has done. After creating your algorithm, then you can move on to create your training jobs using that algorithm. And so in the model arts, and you can choose my algorithm and select the algorithm that you have created previously, and just create a training job of that. And so there will be no training output in our example, but there is an output that you have to choose your destination OBS location for this output URL that you have typed in the previous previous stage that when you creating your algorithm, and the hyperparameter will automatically filled when you have input the location. And after input the location, and you can choose your resource type and instance flavor accordingly. Since in the previous steps, I have choose Essence AI engine, so I will keep on choosing this as the resource type. And for the instant favor, here be careful that Essence one will be fast enough for doing your jobs, and it is much cheaper. So this Essence one is enough for you to complete your jobs instead of SS8. So next for the log path, and it is when you finish your training job, there may be some log that you would like to examine, and this is you can also put it in your OBS folder. And for this page shows how the model arts links to the OBS under Mosin framework, and it's just simply using this Mosin framework to copy the data set from OBS to the model arts, so that the model arts can build its algorithm using the data set. This is the brief concept about it. And after all the training jobs, and there will be some status and log that you would like to know. And So click into the training jobs. You can see all the training jobs that you have created here, and also the status. And there usually have 3 status, and one is failed, one is terminated, and the last one is completed. So completed will be fine, and if this is failed or terminated, you need to figure out what is happening about the jobs. And there is also some algorithm usage about the training job. And if you further click on the jobs, training jobs, you can see a more detailed log about what's the error of that, and you can try to resolve the problem. This is also some training job management about it, and you can click on different function of it to see maybe the log of training job and the version and etc. So now I'm going to have a demonstration on how to create a training model using our cloud and AI platform. So let me share to you our console. Just wait a minute. So you can see that here is our cloud console. Sorry, and first you can mouse on to this menu and just type OBS. And here is the console, and just you can see there is a button for creating the buckets. And so this time I will choose Beijing 4 here as an example. And you can input your bucket name. Remember, the bucket name must be unique one. It means that you cannot use something that already exists. So for the redundancy, just keep it as multi-AC storage, and for the storage class, just yes, also choose standard as is okay. And bucket policy, as I said before, so choose private to make sure it can only be accessed by you. And once everything is done, you can click create now. So now you can see the buckets that I've just created. And for this, click on objects, and you have to create a folder first. Just put input folder to upload your source code here. Yes, you can see, and click into it. Upload your object, which is your Python file. So you can just simply check on it and click upload. So there will be 7 files here, and that's all for input. And you will also need to create a folder for your output training jobs, maybe, or log that you will create later. I create once more. So there is an output. There is an output folder here now, and actually in this OBS you can also create a folder for storing your maybe data set here, and then after that the model ask can refers to the data set you input here to do the training jobs. But in this time I will not show you the data set now. And after create the input and as well as output folder, you can move on to the training job in model arts. Choose algorithm management. Remember, we are choosing Beijing for now, and the resources will be a little bit different from the Hong Kong one. And only Beijing 4 will have AI engine for Essence. You can see that for Beijing 4, you will have 2 more options for your AI engine, which is Essence and Kung Fu. And so for the algorithm creation, you also need to create your name first. And then for the creating way, you can choose your AI engine. So this time I'll use Essence Power Engine as an example, and also the MindSpot framework from Huawei. And after that, you need to select your code directory. As I said before, you can, for the code directory, you just only need to choose the whole folder instead of maybe the file in it. Just choose the whole input folder that containing your all the Python files. And for the boot files, just for this one, you can only choose one Python file that is your entry point of your source code. So here, chain.py is my entry point of my source code. So after that, we do not need to input path here, but we need to input the output one. So the output path configuration is output URL in my example code. And So when yes, you can click submit once you have information. Okay, so you can see the jobs I have just created, and you can just simply click on this create training job for the job creation. Also, you need to change your name here, and just here it requires you to input the training output, which is the OBS location that you want to be stored. So we have just created output folder at the beginning. So we just choose this one. Okay, so the output URL will be all the instance in the output URL will be stored in this OBS location. And just the resource, just choose public. And for the resource type, since I use Ascent engine, so I will also choose Ascent here. And for instance flavor, as I said, just one is enough for the performance. And lastly, for the job log path, which there's some loss when you finish training your model, and you can also put it in the output folder that you have created here. So click OK and submit. So click OK. Then the training job will start, and it may takes around maybe 20 to 30 minutes for it to finish the run, and depends on your code, of course. And if it is finished, it will show you the status here, and you can check on the log as well when you click into this training jobs. And if you find that the status is failed or terminated, you may need to read the log to see where's the problem is. And so far, I have demonstrated how to create the training jobs in the cloud console, from creating the OBS package to creating an algorithm and the training jobs. So I hope you guys will clear about that. And last, if you have further question after watching this video, you can contact our colleague Jack for support. And also, if you have any questions that you would like to ask, you can also contact Jack for further support about that. And so if you are interested in Huawei Cloud, and you can choose our cloud platform in this competition as your source, as your platform to perform the competition. So this is the end of my sharing. So feel free to ask any question anytime. So this is the end.
Thank you to our representatives from Huawei for their sharing. For Huawei Cloud users, please make sure you provide us with your registered email address by replying to the email we sent you in order to receive the free credits. The recording of today's workshop will be available on STP platform around mid-December. We will notify you by email when it's available, so stay tuned.